Imagine sitting down to a high-stakes board game. You agree to the rules, but realize halfway through that one player has been slipping extra cards up their sleeve to guarantee a win. This rigged board game is exactly how our global economy feels for billions of people. This map shows how we've connected the world. Those glowing lines represent cross-border transactions, the constant flow of goods, money, and ideas between distant nations. World leaders spent decades building the specific legal structures and policies that created these global links. To understand why this system feels so lopsided today, we have to look back at the original plan. The goal of connecting the world was to raise the standard of living for everyone. By opening borders, the theory was that smaller nations could manufacture local goods and load them onto ships like this one to reach customers all over the planet. As these businesses grew, they would hire more people and create wealth that would lift the poorest countries out of poverty. The original rulebook was designed so that every country would thrive by working together. Instead of shared prosperity, we've seen jobs disappear in some places, while the gap between the rich and the poor continues to grow. The current rules were largely written in the late 20th century by the leaders of the wealthiest nations. Because they held the pen, they wrote a rulebook that protected their own interests first. This paved the way for massive multinational corporations to dominate the game. Some of these companies now have more money and power than the governments of the countries where they operate. Corporations often move their production to find a cost-effective workforce, places in the developing world where labor is cheaper because there are fewer protections for the people doing the work. The global system is functioning exactly as this corporate rulebook intended. We see the cost of these rules in our environment. Companies often extract valuable resources from the earth, but use legal loopholes to avoid paying for the pollution they leave behind. We see it in trade. Poorer nations are pressured to open their markets to foreign goods, while wealthy countries often use subsidies to protect their own local businesses. These lopsided outcomes have triggered a massive backlash. In many wealthy countries, citizens feel their livelihoods and their environments were traded away for corporate profit. This anger is global. In developing nations, people are also marching to demand trade that respects their rights rather than just exploiting their resources. Leaving millions behind while a few at the top collect the winnings makes the system unsustainable. Fixing this system means managing the game better rather than walking away from it. The first step is holding companies accountable for the damage they do to the land, making it more expensive to pollute than to be clean. This chart shows how wealth is currently shared. Right now, a corporation might keep 99% of the profit, while the local community gets almost nothing. Rebalancing the split ensures that nations get a fair share when their own resources are being used. We also need to give developing nations a legitimate voice when global decisions are made. They need a literal seat at this table to ensure the rules aren't being written behind their backs. Globalization is a tool. By updating the rules, we can ensure that international trade finally delivers on its promise to improve